லைவ் ஸ்ட்ரீம்னு வருது. திஸ் மீட்டிங் இஸ் பீங் லைவ் ஸ்ட்ரீம் சார்.
வருதா?
வருது வருது.
அப்படியே விட்டுருங்க அப்போ.
சரிங்க சார். நீங்க நீங்க ஹோஸ்டா இருக்கீங்க. என்ன வேணா கோ ஹோஸ்டா. மேல வருது சார், லைவ் ஸ்ட்ரீமிங்னு வருது.
அது மாதிரி நீங்க பண்ணினப்போ வரலையா?
வரல சார்.
ஸோ அப்படின்னா நான் உங்களை வந்து நான் இப்போ கோஹோஸ்ட் ஆக்கிடுறேன்.
ஓகே சார்.
ஒருவேளை நான் லாகின் பண்ணதுனால இருந்தது நமக்கு தெரியல.
சரிங்க சார்.
இன்னும் 15 நிமிஷம் இருக்குல்ல?
ஆமா சார். சார் ஜாயின் பண்ணுவாரு. ஸ்டூடெண்ட் எல்லாருக்கும் ஷேர் பண்ணிருக்கேன். ஸ்டூடெண்ட்டுக்கு ஷேர் பண்ணிருக்கேன், நிறைய பேர் ஜாயின் பண்றாங்க சார்.
எல்லாமே வெயிட்டிங் ரூமுக்கு போகுது. அது வெயிட்டிங் ரூம்
ஆமா சார், வெயிட்டிங் ரூமுக்கு போகுது.
அது போகாம பண்றது எப்படின்னு பார்க்கணும். ஸோ டிசேபிள் பண்ணிட்டேன் நான் வெயிட்டிங் ரூம்.
ஓகே சார்.
ஸோ தே கேன் ஜாயின் ஸ்ட்ரைட்.
ஓகே ஓகே சார். அட்மிட் கொடுத்துட்டு இருக்கேன் நான். இப்போ டைரக்டா ஜாயின் ஆகுது சார். சார் குட் ஈவினிங் சார். சார் வந்துட்டாரு.
குட் ஈவினிங்.
வாங்க.
குட் ஈவினிங் சார். ஒரு நிமிஷம் சார் வந்துடுறேன் சார். ஒரு 1 மணி நேரம் டிஸ்டர்ப் பண்ணாரு மீட்டிங். குட் ஈவினிங் சார்.
குட் ஈவினிங்.
ஸோ அவங்களுக்கு வந்து கோஹோஸ்ட் கொடுங்க. நான் லெட் மீ see if I can do. உங்களை கோஹோஸ்டா போட்டிருக்கேன். யூ கேன் ஷேர் யுவர் ஸ்கிரீன். இப்போ
சார் வந்து டாக்டர் வாசு ரங்கநாதன், இஸ் ஃப்ரம் பென்சில்வேனியா யூனிவர்சிட்டி சார், யுஎஸ்ஏ.
ஹலோ வணக்கம் சார்.
வாங்க. வணக்கம்
சார். வந்து அந்த ஃபர்ஸ்ட் உத்தமம் 97ல நடந்த கான்ஃபரன்ஸ்ல நம்ம சார் அட்டெண்ட் பண்ணியிருக்காரு சார். அதுல சார் இருந்திருக்காரு.
ஆமா 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 ஆமா.
பாண்டிச்சேரியா?
பாண்டிச்சேரியில இல்ல, சிங்கப்பூர்ல அந்த ஃபர்ஸ்ட் கான்ஃபரன்ஸ்.
அந்த கீபோர்டு பத்தி ஒரு பெஞ்ச் மார்க்கிங் பண்ணிருந்தோம்ல சார்.
ஆமா, நிறைய பண்ணிருக்கீங்க நீங்க. இந்த ஒரு கல்பாக்கத்துல இருந்தார். அவர் பேர் என்ன? இப்ப எங்க இருக்காருன்னு தெரியல.
இல்ல நீங்க இதுல யூனிவர்சிட்டியில ப்ரொஃபசர் நிறைய ஒர்க் பண்ணிருக்காரு சார், குப்புசாமி.
குப்புசாமி அவர் எனக்கு நல்லா தெரியும்.
அவர் வந்து இப்ப சாரையும் கேட்டேன் லெக்சர் கொடுக்க, அதான் சார் வந்து கொஞ்சம் பிஸியா இருக்காரு சார், அதனால தான் சார்.
ஸோ நீங்க வந்து உங்களோட பிரசன்டேஷன் வந்து ஷேர் பண்ண முடியுதான்னு பாக்குறீங்களா?
பண்றேன் சார். சார் ஷேர் ஆகுதா? பார்க்க முடியுதா?
ஆகுது சார். ஆகுது சார்.
சவுண்ட் ஏதாவது வச்சிருக்கீங்களா? நான் ஆடியோ ஏதாவது பண்ண போறீங்களா?
இல்ல சார், ஆடியோ எதுவும் இல்ல சார்.
ஓகே.
ஒன்லி என்னோட presentation.
ஆடியோனா ஷேர் பண்ற மாதிரி பண்ணணும்.
இல்ல சார், ஆடியோ எதுவும் இல்ல. வந்துச்சா? ஸ்கிரீன் வந்துச்சுங்களா சார்? பிரசன்டேஷன்
வந்துச்சு.
ஓகே.
வந்துச்சு. ரெக்கார்ட் நீங்களே போட்டுறீங்களா சார்? இல்ல ரெக்கார்டு
ரெக்கார்டு நீங்க போட முடியாதா? உங்கள்கிட்ட இருக்கா?
ஒரு நிமிஷம் சார். ரெக்கார்டு இருக்கு, ஆனா லோக்கல்ல ரெக்கார்ட் ஆகுமான்னு தெரியல. ரெக்கார்டிங் வருது. கேக்குது. அதுலயே கிளவுடா ரோக்கலா?
நீங்களே பண்ணிக்கோங்க அதை.
ஓகே சார். 7 மணிக்கு ஆரம்பிச்சிடும் சார்.
7 o'clock 6:49 போட்டிருந்தீங்க. சரி, அதான் வந்தேன்.
அது வந்து சொல்றதுக்காக சொல்றேன் சார். ஆனா 7 o'clock நிறைய ஜாயின் பண்ணுவாங்க சார் யூஸ்வலா.
ஓகே. நோ ப்ராப்ளம். எனக்கு ஒன்றும் ப்ராப்ளம் இல்லை.
சரிங்க சார்.
வீடியோ டெம்பரரி ஆஃப் பண்றேங்க.
சரிங்க சார்.
Amazon
ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணலாங்களா சார்? நீங்க அன்மியூட் பண்ணீங்க சார். எல்லாரையும் நான் மியூட் பண்ணிருக்கேன். நீங்க அன்மியூட் பண்ணுங்க.
எனக்கு என் வாய்ஸ் கேக்குது இல்லையா உங்களுக்கு?
நீங்க அன்மியூட் பண்ணலாம் சார். ஒன்றும் ப்ராப்ளம் இல்லை.
என்னோட வாய்ஸ் கேக்குதா உங்களுக்கு?
கேக்குது சார்.
ஓகேங்க. எல்லாரும் வந்துட்டாங்களா? ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணலாமா?
ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணலாம் சார். இன்ட்ரோடியூஸ் பண்ணிட்டீங்களா சார்?
ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணிடலாம். ஓகே, ரைட்.
அனைவருக்கும் வணக்கம். இந்த 4வது கணினி தொடர் விரிவுரைக்கு உங்கள் அனைவரையும் வரவேற்கின்றேன். இன்றைய நாளைக்கு பேராசிரியர் பி. பிரசன்ன வெங்கடேசன் அவர்கள் பாண்டிச்சேரி பல்கலைக்கழகத்திலிருந்து தனது விரிவுரையை வழங்க உள்ளார். அவரை பற்றி சுருக்கமாக ஆங்கிலத்தில் எனது அறிமுகத்தை தருகின்றேன். டாக்டர் பிரசன்ன வெங்கடேசன், ப்ரொஃபசர், டிபார்ட்மெண்ட் ஆஃப் பேங்கிங் டெக்னாலஜி, School of Management, Pondicherry University. He has 30 years of teaching and research experience with 100+ publications and 1,400+ citations. His areas of research interest are software architecture, multilingual computing, Tamil computing, business intelligence, and banking technology. So Pondicherry University it is doing research in Tamil computing since 1997 onwards. Our Professor S. Kupusamy, who is very much instrumental in doing all these things, and we are all worked as a team, and I was also part of that team, and I asked Professor Prasanna Venkatesan to present his work at the University of Pondicherry, and he has very many achievements in his career, but he has given a very short note about his achievements. With this introduction, I hand over the session to Dr. P. Prasanna Venkatesan. Thanks, sir. Thanks for accepting our invitation. And thank you, sir.
அனைவருக்கும் எனது மாலை வணக்கம். நான் ரொம்ப ஷார்ட் நோட்டீஸில் இதை எனக்கு சொன்னதுனால தமிழில் நான் அதுக்கான டெக்னிக்கல் வேர்ட்ஸ்லாம் ப்ரிப்பேர் பண்ணதுனால நான் ஆங்கிலத்தில் பண்ணுறேன். அடுத்த ஒரு வாய்ப்பு கிடைக்கக்குள்ள நான் முழுமையாக தமிழில் பண்ண முயற்சி பண்ணுறேன். ஸோ ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஆஃப் ஆல் மை தேங்க்ஸ் டு Professor Ponnasamy, Professor Vasu, who is instrumental in initiating this activity, and Ponnasamy was following me very regularly to get my time, and so it's a very short notice. We decided like we'll be doing this particular day, and I am also busy with some schedules, and so somehow it is settled and it is happening today, and so it is a great pleasure talking to a team who are all interested in Tamil computing, which is closer to my heart, and I believe everyone will have the similar feel. This is a completely a walkthrough I am making from the year 1994. It is almost like a 28 years story it is. It's a retrospective study on PONN, the Tamil computer. What the PONN is, the Tamil computer, what we designed. What happened, that story I am conveying with some general details as well as technical details. I am going to walk through on this topic. This overall presentation will be categorized into 3 parts majorly. The part 1 will be focusing on the initial PONN system, what we decided to develop, and that was like it was like a Tamil English computer system. Only we designed in such a way that it will work in Tamil and English. And the second part of the presentation will be when we extended this with multiple languages, and with the thought of even we want to go for dialects of a particular language also we want to go for, but we tried a few things, but we couldn't make it out, like there's no time to complete that. But with multilingual we have completed it. So the second part will be focusing multilingual, but main language will be Tamil. And third part will be what is I'll be consolidating what we have done, and what are the future work, and what is the agenda in upcoming years, what we are going to do. That is a uh, uh, discussion what we are going to see today. So இந்த பாரதியார் கவிதை தான் எங்களோட தூண்டுகோலாக இருந்தது. இங்கே புத்தம் புது கலைகள் பஞ்சபூத செயல்களின் நுட்பங்கள் கூறும் மெத்த வளருது மேற்கே, அந்த மேன்மை கலைகள் தமிழினில் இல்லை, சொல்லவும் கூடுவதில்லை, அவை சொல்லும் திறமை தமிழ் மொழிக்கில்லை, மெல்ல தமிழினி சாகும் அந்த மேற்கு மொழிகள் புய்மிசை ஓங்கும் என்ற அந்த பேதை உரைத்தான். இந்த வசையான கேதிட வரலாமா, சென்றிடுவீர் எட்டு திக்கும், கலை செல்வங்கள் யாவும் கொணர்ந்து இங்கு சேர்ப்பீர். So we tried with this basis. In 1994, exactly 1994, there was a conference. Probably this was the first conference by the early, before formation of INFITT, I think. Uttamam, it was happened in Anna University. Tamilum Kanipuriyam. This was the title of the conference. And my professor, Dr. S. Kupasamy, he was called me, and he said, like, can you make a paper suitable for this conference? Just okay, I said. That time I was working on, majorly I'm working on compiler design and principles of programming language. So I thought, like, why can't visualizing a language which will work in Tamil? So entire syntax and everything, so they can do programs in Tamil. And I planned that, and I designed a language with some syntax. And it's a proposal only. Nothing is implemented. Everything is designed. And we presented as a paper in the conference. So the whole story started with this point. And I have to thank my professor, my guide, my well-wisher. So for all along till today, who is support for me, Dr. Kupasamy. And I have to thank Dr. Chitralekha. And I have to thank many students, like around 100 plus students who participated in various developments of this work, including Dr. Ponnusamy. And it's a great experience. And I have to thank the other side, Anna University, Professor Kanabadi, Professor Balasubramaniam, who were very particular about presenting this paper. And I presented the paper. That point of time, the entire audience was divided into two divisions. One division was talking about why it is required. Already the languages are available. What is the problem in learning in English? What is the necessity of working in Tamil? The another group is, why can't programming language in Tamil? Why can't be there in Tamil? So this was like, I'm explaining, but the entire group itself divided, and they are arguing among themselves. That got the trigger to me. Like, I'm surprised, and I came back and I shared the experience with Professor also. This was happened there. And those papers presented in the conference was published. One of the, if I'm correct, exactly, I don't remember the name. Maybe this is the name. Thodil Vanika Mudalid. It's a local language, Tamil language magazine and business magazine. In that, they published, with the permission of Anna University, they published my article also. One fine day, at that point of time, I'm planning for taking up a project. We are getting a letter from Erode, unknown person. So we don't know the person. He's not, even I forgot the name also. He wrote a letter stating that, in Tamil, he wrote the letter. இந்த புதிய முயற்சிகளை நீங்கள் கண்டிப்பாக மேற்கொள்ளணும். இது எங்களை போன்றவர்களுக்கு, ஆங்கிலம் தெரியாதவர்களுக்கும் மற்றவர்களுக்கும் உபயோகமாக இருக்கும். உங்களுடைய கட்டுரையை படித்த இது மிகவும் ஒரு தமிழை முன்னோக்கி எடுத்து செல்லும் ஒரு இதாக இருக்கும். and like that, it was like it was explaining about the paper and the ideas, and he was appreciating. So my guide was very particular that after seeing this letter, and after that debates happened in the conference, he was very particular. We have to do that. Something interesting. We should continue with that, and we'll do that. So this is how the entire whole lot story was started with this point. So I started designing it. My design was at that time Windows was not so popular. Windows was very limited. It is like 1994. That point of time it is. Windows 95 and all not released at that point of time. That point of time we were working in DAS. So we focused on starting from the font design and for the Tamil thing, and we made our own font editors, and we prepared various commands in Tamil language, and we wrote a shell program to store files, retrieve files in Tamil language. So even the file name and all we can give in Tamil language, and moreover. The the compiler for the Corel language, the interpreter. Actually, we had to say interpreter for the language Corel was designed, and we can write programs both Tamil and English in that environment, or in the PONN environment, using the editor, and we can execute using the Corel interpreter. And so we developed that. This is the virtual computer of it, like the hardware, IOC, input-output control systems, the device driver. In the device driver, we got some interrupts, keyboard interrupts we used to catch the keys and convert into Tamil. And the font editors we developed, and the Corel interpreter, other utilities, directory utilities. After that, we prepared one shell where the commands are operated, and on top of it, user programs can be written on the PON system. This is how it is. The computer was that Corel computer was working. And these are the things we have done. Some device drivers, mainly for the console driver, printer driver. Printer driver also we wrote, our own printer driver we wrote, and font editor we have designed, and we developed an editor which will effectively work on Tamil and English, both languages. It will work very effectively with necessary utilities. And particularly directory, Tamil directory, creating Tamil directories in Tamil, all those things we have done. And in the operating shell, we can do file commands, directory commands, other general commands we can do with that. And Corel will have one small operating environment. When you get into that, you can create a program and we can run it. That is, we can execute it, and we can save, load, and you can come out of it. So it's a very limited model, but still it is full-fledged by itself. So in order to do that, we had a problem of identifying Tamil characters. At that point of time, uh, uh, there is no standard character sets were available. When we are completing this, TISCI was introduced, Tamil Standard Code for Information Interchange, and we made our own. We don't want to disturb the ASCII, so we added Tamil after 255. From 256 to we added Tamil characters, and this is how the coding scheme will come, and automatically catching the keyboard input, the appropriate TASCII code will be generated, and based on the TASCII code, the fonts will be printed on the monitor as well as printed on the printer also. This is how it was working. And these are some technical commands, like for example, clear screen, Thirai ID. In short, is 3D, directory, array arc, array matru, array meek. Like that, we made a set of commands, and we used for this thing. This is the keyboard layout. It is completely like more transliterator literate type keyboard it is. For example, you want to, if you type amma, capital A, it will give amma in Tamil. So just to, without any even without any keyboard skin in Tamil put on to the English keyboard, you can easily, on seeing English itself also, you can type Tamil. That was our idea, and we developed that kind of keyboard layout. So these are all the commands. This is the programs, simple programs. So only we can do simple programs. Here you can see like simple interest calculation, and another one is whether it is a number which is divisible by 2 or not. So that is the second program, and we can do this kind of programs. Limited size, like it doesn't have a rich syntax, very limited syntax we designed at that point of time, and but it works. Whatever intention we develop, it works completely. That's what we are done. So once this project is done, the second part of the story starts. We went and we got an opportunity to meet. For that time, Professor Andakishan was the director for Tamil Nadu State Council for Higher Education. We met him, and he is also generously provided time to see the demo. We demonstrated whatever we had done, and he was asking what you want. Actually, it's quite interesting what you want. First of all, we said like standardization is missing. Many people are running, and they are approaching the Tamil computing with the different ideas. Some few things can be standardized, like the keyboard layout and the coding scheme. Those things can be standardized, and even possibly like technical works in Tamil. So that will help the developers quickly adapt that, and that will help to exchange the ideas, and which will be like we can combine two different people developed programs together, which will compatible with each other. That was the idea we are presenting, and he said, okay, we'll do that, and he initiated a committee, and the committee includes uh, a lot of very talented uh, personalities from various different industries, including uh, writer Sujata and Professor Govindasamy from Singapore Nanyang University. So many people were there, and that is a great opportunity. And it's a very young time. Like in my early part of the career, I got an opportunity to work those kind of people, and they are giving a lot of appreciation. And Pondicherry University got to carry out the benchmarking software for Tamil keyboard layouts, and we have done that. And we carried out various parameters we fixed, and we studied that, and we are given a report to the committee that which keyboard is working well and which is better. So we have majorly classified into three different type of Tamil keyboards. One is Tamil typewriter based. Another one is transliterate keyboards. Another one is phonetic keyboards. Based on the phonetic usage of the Tamil characters, the keyboard is designed. So these three models were taken, and it was recommended, and in each we are recommended which is better one we recommended. This is what happened, and this is presented as a paper in I think it is exactly 1997. There was a conference, probably that is the first conference, I think, if I'm correct, INFITT first conference in Singapore. It was happened, and Professor Kupsamy presented that paper, and about the benchmarking of Tamil keyboard layouts. And based on this, the committee took some stand, and it was later taken by the Tamil Nadu government and published in the. It was made as a rule, like it was a history actually. So this is what happened, and so all this pushed me to move further. That is the second part actually. So up to this, I approached Tamil computing as a program. In that perspective only, I have seen Tamil computing. After completing on the progress, I started feeling that my view should be changed. It's not simple programs. It is something more than that. What is that? So I want to study, and that start the second part of our session. And if you have any questions related to this, you can ask. I'll give a few minutes. Otherwise, I'll move to the second session. Dr. Pondicherry?
Last, we can have a question and answer session, sir. Now,
Last will. Okay.
last.
Fine. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Part 2 is focusing on we worked like it is not programming level, it is more on architecture level. We have to build a software architecture model. So for a language, if you do the same thing is replicated for multiple languages. So we want to develop as a multilingual model software. For multilingual software, we want to build a architecture model. So this is the basic idea. We moved with this, and we started studying. We revisited everything. We jumped into understanding the language. What is the language? Why the language is so important? It is not only communication purpose. It is more than communication purpose. It is a basically identity, social identity, and they have a lot of value for their language. And any language evaluation has different factors. It may be a social factor, political factor, technological factor, pushes the language to get different transformations in its character set or in its the way of usage and other aspects. So the evolution will happen over a period. And taking language and computer together, on the crosscut, we can see language engineering field is evolved, localization and internationalization. That was for converting the product into different markets, how we can localize the internationalized product, how we can localize and sell it. That kind of approach is separately started growing that point of time. And multilingual software development was the very early stage. They started speaking about it. So what is multilingual software? Multilingual software which exhibits various domain constraints. What are the domain constraints? It may be like where the software, for what purpose the software is working. It may be for a business or for a bank or for a healthcare, for what domain it works. Accordingly, with the language concerns in that particular domain, what the user want to work with that, and more than one language. Because in best example or Indian scenario, we have multiple languages in by default. So if you take any state, even though it has a language like Tamil Nadu, if you come to Chennai, a lot of you can see Telugu people, and in Pondicherry, if you take, we have 4 languages, official language itself. So we have French, we have Tamil, we have English, we have Telugu and Malayalam. So 5 languages, including English. So we have regions in Andhra as well as in Kerala. So any circular or anything, any notifications will be done in all languages or common language in English. So this kind of multilingual, that is more than one language requirement is there in many of the scenarios. So how to select language, how to configure the language, and how to address non-functional qualities relevant to the language. So all these are addressed by the multilingual software. And we studied various software available. What are the different types? When we have studied the different types, we can broadly classify into content creation software and multilingual processing and working environment software, multilingual software development tools. So multilingual editors, multilingual translation software, multilingual web content creation software all comes under content creation category, and spell checkers, annotation software, and with building a lot of user interfaces. All these are all coming under multilingual processing and working environment software category. And last part is like multilingual programming and web page designing and database kind of thing. Like these are all tools. Here and there, some initiatives we can see. So when we want to see the characteristics of multilingual software, how many languages it supports, how it switches between languages, whether it is static, whether it is dynamic. When we are switching on the system, that time itself it has to decide that which language it has to work, or dynamically we can choose the language. How the inclusion of exclusion of language will work, like dynamically we can add a language, we can take off a language, that is possible. Uh, what are the fundamental modules supported by the multilingualism? Whether IO is supported, whether it is processing is supported. So the storage is how the storage handling is handled. And the level of multilingualism, what level of multilingualism is handled. Uh, sorry. All these are all the characteristics of multilingual software. So various approaches. One is programming approach. Already what we initiated. Whether it is what type of programming you are using, structured programming or object-oriented programming or component programming, any programming approach. Based on that, it falls under that category. Another one is a software architecture approach. That was very early stage when we started our work. Very limited discussions are seen in the literature at that point of time. And various requirements we could see from the literature is same machine with multiple users with multiple languages they want to use, same application with multiple users. The requirement are also multiple language with the same application. So same application handling multilingual data with a single user also possible due to their job constraint or personal requirement. So we have seen a lot of initiatives like IIT's Acharya project, Anna University's various projects include majorly towards language engineering, and we worked on various projects. Like initially we worked something, later we after this we extended many things, and industry initiatives like Microsoft, their APIs, CDAX, MITI multilingual component based development, like that many initiatives we could see that part of time. So when you see the qualities, what are the qualities? Maintainability. All these qualities are related to multilinguality. How we can maintain the lingual aspects of the multilingual software, how easily you can update or modify, and how easily you can reuse, like whether it is allows us to reuse those functionalities for different purposes, and how the user can easily understand any feature is provided in this multilingual software, how it adapts a language, whether the software has any language neutrality, so that any part of the component or domain component can be reused for different purpose. All these the qualities we can extract from the literature. So then we categorized with existing multilingual software. What are the actual different architecture models are used in the multilingual software? So we identified wrapper, monolithic, multilingual library, and language library. These models are so we can fit any language software in one of these models. The wrapper model is basically, the idea is core software will be the same. There will be a wrapper module will be written, and the wrapper functionality will be interacting with the user. It gets the input and it converts into the suitable form to the core module, how it works in the core module, how it will accept that input. In that type, it will convert and it will provide, it will give it to the core module, and core module will be working with the functionality, and it will deliver, and that will be again converted back to the requirement of the user, and it will be provided to the user. So here the core module cannot be touched, and it is not language dependent. Only the wrapper module is the language dependent. And wrapper module, whatever facility it provides, that level only we can operate. Second is monolithic model. Single piece of program, like what we have developed initially, the PONN software, what we developed, like even though we had some functions, but the whole idea will be a single piece of program, which will be very, very complex in nature, and adding any aspects and removing any aspects, modifying aspects will be very, very difficult in this model. And multilingual libraries, domain components, domain functionality will be separate, and multilingual functions will be separate. They'll keep libraries and they'll use all these together. And mostly the language part will be kept in one component, and all the multiple languages handled in the respective functions together. It is a language-wise distinction are not made in this particular model. And language library model is like domain part will be separately in the library, and multilinguality will be multiple language will have different library aspects, library functions, and so each language can be easily managed in this approach. So on studying this, we felt what are the issues not addressed in all these models. So that we studied, and we compared all these models with the basic software qualities proposed by us for multilingual software, like modifiability, understandability, reusability, adaptability, language neutrality. And so we felt like there is a lot of shortcoming, and why can't we go for a new model which addresses these qualities also. So when we started studying, any software has these three aspects to address a kind of completeness in the multilingualism. One is like linguistic aspects. The linguistic aspects is about the language and the keyboard coding scheme, or the technical words related to that, or any language related aspects. Other side, implementation aspects is how it is put into the system, how it is implemented. Those functionalities will be implementation aspects. The other side is like domain aspects. Domain, sometimes domain may be demanding some language requirement. A particular business model may be demanding like how the language should be presented, and they have their own jargons. They have their own local words for the particular business that has to be adapted. So these three aspects, linguistic aspects, it's about language, implementation aspects about the system, and the domain aspects about the software where we are going to apply. So these three will be pushing any component to move you have to satisfy all these three. So we went for a design space approach, and we tried to address this, and we made a model called I'll straight away go to the model. I'm not explaining how it is developed. So aspect-based language library model we made, and it is something. It is an extension of language library model. Already you have seen. Here, the language library is further divided into three different libraries. So first one is talking about the implementation aspects. Second one is we see. If you see the second portion of the library, will be talking about the linguistic aspects. Third will be addressing the domain aspects. So for each language, we will be building all the three libraries. Like that, we will be building for a number of languages, even a number of dialects also we can add. So further, we want to refine this. When we want to refine this, we want to make more generic in nature. We want to make a better architecture model. So we worked on a unit operation. We applied the unit operation on this model, and we used different unit operators like compression, abstraction, resource sharing, uniform decomposition, application. In these operators, essential things we have applied, and this is how we applied, and we got a final model, a reference model we built, and this reference model has a lot of abstractness as well as concreteness in the necessary places. Because of this abstraction, the reusability can be increased enormously when compared to the previous model. So we have a language independent domain layer, language neutral domain layer, and multi-language neutral domain layer, multilingual library layer, actual abstract language library layer, and language dependent domain layer. So it goes like that. And conceptual view, how it handles the input, how it handles the process, how it handles output, we design. And the module view, what are the different modules, how the classes will be built, what is the language independent domain layer, language neutral domain layer, language dependent domain layer, how this was built and how it will work. This was illustrated, and you can see here in the base here, we have three compositions. We can see like one is language aspect components, and another one is language that is a domain level language aspect component, linguistic level language aspect component, and last one is sorry, 1 minute. And last one is implementation level. Sorry, language aspect component. Sorry, I'm little not well. So I'll just please bear with me. And we compared this. We compared this with other models, wrapper and monolithic, multilingual library, language library. So we compared, and all these qualities we really achieved. We want to apply and see whether really it works or not. So this is a model, right? Model has to work with the actual software. How it will work? Like we want to build horizontal tools like multilingual file and directory managers, and we want to build the Corel is redefined now for Windows suitable with IDE and compiler and other things we want to build. And sorry, we build IDs and translators, and we made a vertical applications like one web application like Mayan for building websites in multilinguality, and we have some mobile application SMS in multilinguality, and an email application, web application for emailing PONN. We developed all this. So in order to approach this, we started working on like the domain components first, and we identify the multilingual functionalities, and we started separating this, which part is language independent, which part is language dependent. When you make that separation, it will be clear, and then the language dependent part will be further divided into abstract part and concrete part, and again within that lingual aspects, that is linguistic aspects and implementation aspects and the domain aspects will be separated, and this makes the module view of the each component. We have to make that module view, and we have to build the classes accordingly. Repeat these steps for all the classes, and you will get your model. And this is how it will work, like your module C. And say, for example, multilingual domain module and multilingual module. Multilingual module will have a abstract multilingual component, and we'll have a concrete multilingual component. In that, what are the different aspects will be there. So, like this, we applied the our reference model, and we started building things. So this is after applying one particular component for that is file module in the file directory managers. How we used that is demonstrated here. How the domain module, how one single dialog, saved dialog, how it is visualized in different aspects. How Tamil character input component, how Tamil character display component, how Tamil line edit component, how all this will work together, and it will form the particular save dialog box as we require. It will work. So here the advantage is like since it is adding any language, because it's abstraction and concreteness, you can add easily any language, you can modify any language. It is more seamless, and more dependency will not be there. It is more cohesive in nature, and less coupling will be there between the components. Whatever architecture we expect that is imposed in this, that benefits the language aspects. That is, when we are putting language also, for that also it helps very, very much. So we developed, these are the domains we applied. So what we have done is we want to test not only with very standard application framework, we want to do with other aspects also. First, what we developed under the Windows is like we rebuilt the PONN, whatever earlier we are done with C, now we are done with Visual C++. We done PONN. PONN will be with PONN is a Windows operating environment which will work in, basically we developed in 4 languages: English, Tamil, Malayalam, Hindi. In 4 languages we developed, but very much focus on English and Tamil, and Hindi and Malayalam is later added. And phone will be having majorly one word part kind of thing, like we can type documents, Tamil documents we can type, and there is a like Windows Explorer, there's a PONN Explorer where we can do all file operations, copying, and similarly like Windows Explorer it will work. And we have the language like Coral support will be there. That Coral language, we made one complete IDE for that with the compiler, and that works. So now Coral is much more enhanced, and more commands are added, graphics and other functionalities, file operations. So Coral is a kind of version 2. We built the entire design, and we revisited the whole thing, and we made it happen. Now it is like, it is more or less like any standard language we see in all the aspects were kept in the Coral. And the PON, we are not stopped with PON. We want to extend that PON for different people. So we try to address for especially with the visually challenged people we want to address. So we made a special computer system for visually challenged people, and we had all the input can be done with Braille input form, and we generated voice for each and every operation, menu operation, any output you are generating, any program if you execute, the output will be automatically, it will generate as a voice. So a kind of a different challenge like we faced, like it is not standard input, it is multimodal now. It is only characters displaying on the screen, or like on the paper, or it is going beyond. So it is now, it has to generate voice. The input can be done in a braille form. All these we have seen, and we developed that also seamlessly, because the architecture model helped us to easily adapt. The PON can be easily adapted as specs, and we made a PON Angel. PON Angel is a email system, where this email system has a lot of good features actually. Like this email system is able to, like any other email system, you can send and receive mails, and you can organize your mails. Here in the organization, we had special features, like we can build groups of emails. You can build, so a lot of filters you can brought in, and the filters for a period you can brought in. So many features we added for this PON Angel also. Then then we have done like we extended this same thing to the web also with a software called Mayan. And Mayan is uh, like front page in Microsoft. Like it's a web page designing tool where the user can, or the developer can develop web pages for the websites with multilinguality, with various properties and commands. You can set, and we can work with that. And we developed some commercial application also we want to test. So simple VCD, video CD lending application also we built with various with component technology we developed. With component technology, we build we converted, we build components with multilingualism. Using the same concept of applying arms, we build that. And using those components, we build the application. And so like using Visual Basic with the multilingual components, we can build the multilingual application. In that way, we can quickly develop multilingual application with seamlessly, like with less effort, we can develop application. Just drag and drop and configure. That's all. Most of the things we can easily do it. And we build one database handling also. Multilingual which data is storing multilinguality in database, accessing the records, getting like all database operations we incorporated in that. So it is, we tested in multi aspects, like not in a single dimension. Like we tested in standard application. We tested in various component-based application and commercial application, database application, and even in mobile, like multilingual SMS and multilingual mobile banking application we built. So all these are all happened around roughly 2000, 2001, roughly. And we extended for network also, like network PONN, like there will be a PONN server and PONN client. So the the storage will be happening in the server, and we can retrieve, we can operate on it. With TCP/IP, we built network PON, and we built the internet PON also. So in the internet environment, it will work like with the web server. It will work with HTTP. Uh, it works. So we developed that also. So these are the different applications. Practically, we developed and we tested our model, and uh, that gave us a kind of complete satisfaction to move further. And so this is a huge task we have done, and many people worked on this. Uh, and roughly that's what I said, like around 100 plus students supported us. And whatever I am presenting here, it is not only my work, Professor Kupasami's work, and one of my colleague, Dr. Sitaleka, she's also contributed in this. And many other MTech and MCA and MSc students were also contributed in this. In various aspects, various capacity they contributed in order to develop this. So as a team, we worked, and we started studying what is the benefit, what we gained. So we started understanding what are the styles, architectural styles we used in this each application we studied. So we used in PONN desktop layered and object oriented. In Coral, we used interpreter and object oriented layered. In Mayan, we used a client server model, event system. Like that, we studied for various and design patterns. What are the design patterns we used, and what are the working platform material. So we developed for Windows, we developed for Linux, we developed for Solaris, different operating system also we developed. And we developed in not only VC++, we developed in Java also. And Java also, mobile application also we developed. And Java, JTME, and we developed in component programming also we had done. And so the architectural qualities, that is the multilingual architecture qualities, whatever already earlier we have seen, that is also checked. And this complete experience is documented also. This is also documented. And how many languages supported? As I mentioned already, 4 languages. Later we added Malayalam and Hindi. Initially it was developed using Tamil and English. Tamil and English is almost available in all software very standardly. And Malayalam and Hindi are in selected software only we used it. And any language can be plugged in and plugged out dynamically at runtime. There is no need to shut down or do something. And language management also, in some software we are done statically, and some software we are done dynamic. That is also done dynamically. And language level of multilingualism is user interface level, data level, both we provided. Only not only user interface, data English. We are not storing the data as in English format. We stored in both like task key format as well as Unicode format. That point of time Unicode came to existence. So we used both task and Unicode in both format. It was stored. And operations, it will do input operation, output operation, storage and process. So when I say output, voice output, printer output, anything can be done. So these are the things. And some screens, here I'm showing. Uh, this is the PONN environment screen, and you can switch the language. You can see the language setting, Tamil and English. At any given instance, anytime you can switch that, automatically it will change the whole environment. So you have a shell where you can operate any commands, and you have a VAS is a Vartachoder, is a editor like a WordPad, and Explorer is a PONN Explorer, and help will be there, and Coral language ID is developed ID, and closing the system. So these options we have done that, and this will be the Tamil commands. Shell will be called as CP, and Explorer is called Ayvalar, and rest we can, it's more self-explanatory. So this is how the directory will be listed. You can see both Tamil and English, all the combinations. You can give the file name, and you can get the result, like and type of file also. You can see what type of file it is. Everything you can see that. And the Explorer, you can see like how we can name the directories, and how we can how we can access in Explorer. This is almost similar to Windows Explorer. So this where in this we can copy, we can set the file properties, and renaming, all whatever we can do with Explorer, we can do it. And this is the language environment. So here it is more strongly typed language we designed, and here more structural way we can do the programming that we have done with more intuitive environment it is, and it will help the user to debug also. From the screen, you can understand like we used the components, each the label, the menu, the drop down box, everything is a sorry, multilingual component. All these components are designed with the same architecture reference model for multilingual ARMS model we applied and we developed. And so for as a requirement, we put both the languages. You can, if you want, you can have single language. Both are possible. Single language is possible. Anyway, you can do it. And this application is for generally like cataloging CDs, and giving for lending, and like return and payment, billing, all those things we have done. This is about the Mayan software. You can see the menu. You can see on the top of them. In the top, you can see the menu in Tamil. And you can drag and drop all the tools from the toolbox, various components, and we can put the label, text box, drop down box, button, and other things. And we can set properties also. In the set properties also, you can see Tamil is there here. The பெயர், வடிவம், முன்னிறம், பின்னிறம், முன்னெழுத்து, உயரம். So here also project details also will Tamil, it will be displayed, and even you want, you can have. So multilingual, it will work. You want in a single language also, it will work. That is the idea. This is the SMS and the password, and you can see the screen like so. Sorry. So entire thing, this is developed in J2ME, and we emulated in a phone component, and how it will look like. This is so complete SMS we can send, and similarly editing and sending, and the whole thing will be handled with same this same architecture model with the necessary components. And so with this, I'm completing the part 2, and last part. Last part is about I'm just going to consolidate. After that, I am interested in discussing with you. So the last part is like what we have done, and a concise of what we have seen, and how it can be seen overall. That is the idea. So the entire idea is about language and software. So we are working from the software side, and both these are all cross-cutting disciplines. One side language is there, another side software is there. Both are cross-cutting, and software. When you take software, software speaks out, software listens in, and software stores, retrieves, and so in various aspects, the languages are very important. So you want to store, retrieve, or you want to listen, you want to speak, you want to type, you want to display. For all the aspect, it will cross-cut with the language. So even in communication also, for the other end, in which language you want. So everywhere the language matters. Even if there is demand for processing, like where the data are also belongs to multilinguality, the process also should handle the language. So in all these aspects, the software cross-cuts with the language. So normally, these majority cases it works in English, or in few softwares, a certain aspects will be done in Tamil or required language. Rest of the things will be internally in English only. But we try to address in all the aspects, all cross-cutting aspects can be done in required language. That is our idea. So the two sides of the coin. One side is the language. It's a method of communication. Already I mentioned about it. So it has its own symbols and grammars, any language, and it has not only symbols. It has its own grammars, and so if you take Tamil, we have the oldest grammar. Tulkapiyam is there, guiding us to when we implemented few things. We developed one small tool to check grammar aspect also. I thank Dr. Uma in this regard. She contributed a lot in this. She framed the rules and given suitable for computers. So it was tested, and it worked very well actually. So on the linguistic side, we have phonetics, phonology, morphology, syntax, semantics, stylistics, pragmatics. All these in various ways it will be connected to the computer also. So slowly, computational linguistics will be addressing all this mathematically, scientifically, and necessarily with the language aspects. So the language side requirements are character set, so unambiguous grammars, lexicons, basic, the technical, specialized, and necessary language corpus is required to suit for specific requirement or generic requirement. So other side, software side, we have various components handling the I/O, user interface, storage, process. For all those aspects, how the languages will be influencing those functionalities of a software. How we are going to take part, how we are going to handle that, and how we are going to do seamlessly in those aspects. So as I mentioned, for each of these coding scheme is required keyboard, keypad layout, and IO methods, and necessary language components development, and a lot of reuse strategy you have to go for. So we have to build the libraries, and we can use design patterns to handle to design better software in such a way that many things can be reused, and build the frameworks. So these frameworks will be addressing many of things are readily available. It will make and apply necessary models to achieve good things like the design level reusability can be ensured. So this is consolidated what we have seen, and how language lexicon components, corpus components, grammar components will, and how it comes to the device, and how it comes as a processing component, spell checker component, dialog component, the grammar component which works on the system, annotation component which works on the system, translation component which works on the system, how the things we can build. So basic, we have done this from the beginning. We have shown that basic language components, basic language components, advanced language components, and the actual software which is using all these components, and this component based build up we can do, and So, what we will gain out of it? Day-to-day life, we are enriched with various activity based on the language, and there the language software will help. And so, language reform and whatever IT demands, accordingly uh, we can make the necessary reformation, and we can make it suitable for software development. And IT is made available to the language society, so that the society will be getting connected more technically, more digitally. So already I explained about our contribution, and about PONN, Coral, Mayan, all those things I told, and network PONN, internetwork PONN. We developed visual Coral also, Visual Basic. We developed components in like a text box, label box, all multilingual components we developed, and we developed menu and other things. So like VB, it will work. The visual Coral also work. Same Coral syntax we followed, and you can do scripting, event-driven programming we incorporated, and it's really worked well. Also, this is also really worked well. So visual and data components we built, and this visual and data components are reused in many applications. And already we have seen PON Visual Basic, sorry PON Visual Coral we used it, and the PON Mail Client we used it, PON Chat also we developed, there we used it, PON SMS there also we used. So these visual and data components are reused in many places. Also, we worked on this also, specialized computer system for visually handicapped, and with the Braille keyboard interface, and even we can take Braille hard copy, voice output, all those facilities we have done. So we actively participated with the Tamil Nadu government in the committee, and we benchmarked keyboard, particularly keyboard standardization, which will be helping the software development in Tamil. And we are submitted our results, and we presented our results in the INFITT conference also. At present, we are working on different aspects. So mainly focusing on how to incorporate language dialects. We know that particularly Tamil has many language dialects. So we have Chennai Tamil, we have Coimbatore Tamil, we have Madurai Tamil, we have, so that nativity also over a period we felt that this was discussed in a session also. Like they pointed out that each one has its own identity, each one has its own importance. So whether we can incorporate that, we want to work upon, and we started some small ideas. We started working on that, and more domain related language components. We want to develop software for various domains like banking, healthcare. So that kind of idea also we want to move around that, and a kind of methodology also we want to build related to that. From the software perspective, we want to build many more patterns. So the patterns will software patterns which addresses the recurring problem. We want to identify many patterns, and those patterns will be reused for various occasions. There is software development where we come across problems there, and all we can apply. So the reuse at the design level will happen, and we want to build the metric suite for multilingual software. So how much time it takes, how much cost we are spending, whether we are there is the ROI is happening or not. So all these evaluation of development of multilingual software can be done with the help of metric suite. We made an attempt for this also. One of my scholar worked on this, and he proposed some one set of metric suite addressing various issues, and how to calculate the overall estimate for software development also he made. And we plan to further enhance that metric suite also we are planning. And as I mentioned already, so adoption of more domain in when we want to move from domain to domain, and so we want to build the tool set for the particular domain, and we want to develop the proper methodology so that the developer will be seamlessly they can develop, and it should be easy and more convenience, more usability should be there end of the day, and understandability about handling the languages and other things should be seamlessly they have to work. So those things can be addressed by developing proper methodology and toolset we can achieve. So, and recent time, uh, we built some chatbots, and we want to extend that in multilinguality. Multilingual chatbots we want to build, and the idea is here like we want to apply to different domains like banking domains, and so for making some inquiries about the products and some banking details. For all those things, we are planning some chatbots in PONN, and real-time translator like translation will happen on fly. It will happen like it is not a kind of process like on seeing something like you want to provide, so depending upon the user's requirement, understanding the user's requirement and providing in the appropriate language, that will be done at the on fly. It will happen and it will be translated, it will be sent to the user. So that kind of idea also we are working. And multimodal interactive system, we are thinking about it. And here the idea is like we plan like now we are having speech recognition, and we have TTS, text to speech systems, and we are the whole scenario is changing. So we want to build the UX, user experience has to be enhanced. For that, suitable multimodal interactive systems can be developed, and we want to use some emotional aspects of AI also. So artificial emotional intelligence also we want to apply in chatbots, so that the chatbot interaction will be more natural. Then it will not look like a very mission kind of interaction, like so a kind of routine messages, routine. So understanding the user's gesture and mood and other thing, how the interaction happens, based on that it will apply its own emotional intelligence, and it will act accordingly. So that is also a kind of plan of action we have in our mind. So uh, so with this I presented I made a walkthrough from 1992. 92 93 it started 94, it is 94 1994 it started. And so till today I'm working in different uh, perspectives of Tamil computing, and we are done. We are not much commercialized, but we used here and there necessary places, and now my idea is I want to build a certain group to commercialize, and now domain level to work and to provide software to various domains like for banking, healthcare, and all necessary kiosks and interactive displays, and so where and all many people will access and work in the with the system there and all. If you have Tamil, it will be very useful. So those ideas are there, and that is our plan. So here I'm repeating my thanks to my guide and my supervisor, and Professor S. Kupasamy, and my colleague Dr. Chitralekha, and so many students who take part in this uh, activity. So thanks to all. So I have to thank Pondicherry, Dr. Pondicherry also. He is also part to our system. So thanks to all, like in
Thank
the
you.
whole environment to revisit and present to you. It's a great opportunity. So I thank INFITT for providing me this occasion. Thank you. So questions, please.
Any questions from audience?
Good evening, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, good evening.
Is audible to you, sir?
Yeah, very
yes,
well.
sir.
Very
Audible.
well. Very well.
Good evening, sir. Really wonderful session, sir, and really I never expect for especially our Tamil Valga. Really good, sir. And the next one, sir. Any app we can develop with help of our language, sir?
Mr. Vijay Raghvan, is it your name? Am I correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So thanks for your compliments, first of all. And second thing is, see, this is whatever we developed is a model. That model will work with any technology. That is my idea. So it works with standards application development. It works with mobile application development. It works with component application development. And so obviously it will work with application, mobile app development also. And it will work with service SOA also, it will work. There's no doubt. It will work 100%. If you want any help, you can reach me. I provided my mail ID also. I'll support you to carry out your work also. Sure.
And one more question, sir.
Yes.
We developed in using Python language. Python language we developed, sir, our language.
I don't get you. Python language? You used Python, no?
No. We developed. You told us Java and various languages developed.
See, we developed majority. We developed in C, C++, VC++, Java, and J2ME. Java mobile edition we developed. And see, out of this experience, different operating system also we developed. Solaris, Linux, Windows we developed. So out of this experience, we got one point that this model is independent of language or operating system. So it will go with any language. So see, if necessary libraries are built in Python, it will work with Python also. You can port libraries and it will work in Python also. But we are not working in Python, but that can be done. Sure, that can be done. No doubt.
Okay. Okay. Thanks a lot, sir. Thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Actually, you have done enormous work, sir. But I'm concerned that the publications are not up to that. Whatever you have developed, you haven't published, sir. That is my remarks about the works.
No, we published papers, but in the forums I have not seen. That's all. So I'm busy with work. So always
Yes,
I'm
sir.
doing some work, and my area also widened, right? I'm working in banking technology also.
Banking technology.
So I'm working on business intelligence also. So I'm a bit distracted in many things. So my publications, many of these works are published also.
Okay. Okay.
But not in INFITT. That is the only. Every time I'll miss your dates. Every time I'll see. I'll get mail. I want to do, but I miss your dates, and I feel very bad.
Now we have postponed to December, sir. This coming December, we are having a conference. Tamil University Thanjavur that we are conducting. So you can tell your students to publish.
Sure. So even I will also take part. Sure.
Yes, sir.
I missed.
Thank you.
My entire career started with INFITT only. Like so, Anna University conference is the prelude for INFITT.
Be a member of INFITT, sir. You take active participation in that. Right?
Yeah. I'll so you help me in this regard.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for your comprehensive lecture on PONN, Kural, and Mayan and other softwares that you developed at Pondicherry University.
What is actually the main idea is I want to point out it is a model which suits for any development.
Yes,
that is the major idea. Yeah,
okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So once again, I thanks for your lecture. And I amid your tight schedule that you have given us a time and given this lecture. And in fact, all these lectures are available in the internet. I hope that more people will visit the YouTube, and they will, if they have any requirement, they will come to you, sir. Thank you, sir.
I'm ready to help you for INFITT also, as well as for any participant.
And actually, there are some observation I have, sir. The field is not consolidated because we don't have any proper book for Tamil computing. In fact, now I have done some work, and hopefully this conference I'll bring out a book for Tamil computing. And the whatever the work people have done in a different university, not yet consolidated, because and the second problem that we are facing, the Scopus is not coming forward to index the conference. And actually we missed the chance, because earlier we have some 200 papers we received those years in the early years, but that time somehow they have missed the chance. Now we have only limited papers, so that's why the Scopus is reluctant to publish the index the conference. That is a big problem that we are facing, and we are trying to solve all these basic issues, and hopefully we'll get a...
This time you please share the notification, and I have some good number of scholars and I have good number of students. We'll try to publish. We'll support you. Number one.
Okay.
Number two, I'll try to add more people also. And if there is any opportunity to contribute for your book also, I'm ready to help you.
Yes, sir. I'll
a great effort.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. I thank all participants for joining this program. If any of you interested in giving a lecture, please send your emails to me, so that we'll forward it to the INFITT, and then so we just want to trigger more activities in INFITT. So that's why we are putting all this effort. Hopefully this program will mature over the period of time, and more people will come and join with us. Thank you, Ananda.
Thank you, Dr. Ponnasamy. Thank you, Vasu sir. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Shall we stop?